He looked at the phone. He saw the missed call, and he said, "I'll call tomorrow." Tomorrow felt safe. Tomorrow felt guaranteed. Tomorrow felt like it would always be there. But tomorrow never came. He wasn't a bad son. He wasn't heartless. He wasn't careless. He was just busy. Busy building a life. Busy chasing stability. Busy trying to become someone important. And in that rush, he kept postponing the smallest things, the things that mattered the most. His name was Amir, 32 years old, working in a growing company in a noisy city. Long hours. Endless deadlines. Constant pressure. He rented a small apartment close to his office. Minimal furniture, a bed, a table, a laptop. The kind of place you sleep in, not live in. Every morning he woke up to alarms he hated. Every night he slept with stress in his chest. He told himself this was temporary. "This is the sacrifice phase," he would say. "One day it'll all be worth it." His mother lived in their hometown. A small house, old walls, familiar streets. She called him almost every evening. Sometimes just to ask if he had eaten. Sometimes to tell him about the neighbor's daughter getting married. Sometimes just to hear his voice. And almost every time he would say, "Amy, I'm in a meeting. I'll call you tomorrow." Tomorrow. It became his favorite word. At first, he really meant it. He planned to call her back at night. But by the time he reached home, he was exhausted. He would lie on the bed, scroll through his phone, and fall asleep. The next day would start again. Work. Pressure. Noise. She would call again. He would look at the screen. Sometimes smile. Sometimes sigh. "I'll call tomorrow." He didn't realize those small delays were building something heavy inside him. Months passed, he got a promotion, more responsibility, more money, less time. He told his mother about it in a rushed 2-minute call one Sunday. She sounded proud. "I always knew you would do something big," she said. He felt good hearing that, but even during that call, he was checking emails. "I may have to go. I'll call tomorrow and talk properly." She paused for a second. "Okay, Beta, tomorrow." Her voice was softer that day. He didn't notice. He thought love could wait. He thought conversations could wait. He thought people would always be there, just like they were yesterday. One night, she called 3 times. He was in a late meeting. He silenced the phone. "I'll call tomorrow," he whispered to himself. He didn't know that she had been feeling weak for days. He didn't know she had gone to the clinic alone. He didn't know she didn't want to disturb him because she knew he was busy. The next morning, he woke up to 20 missed calls. From his uncle. From a neighbor. From a number he didn't recognize. His chest felt tight. He called back. His uncle's voice was not steady. "Come home." Just 2 words. He felt something break inside him before he even heard the full sentence. "She had a heart attack last night." The room became silent. Not quiet, silent, like the world had paused. He booked the first bus. The 6-hour journey felt like a lifetime. He stared out the window the whole way. Memories started replaying. Her waiting near the gate when he came home from school. Her staying awake until he finished studying. Her hands always busy cooking, cleaning, praying. And her voice, "Did you eat? Are you sleeping enough? Take care of yourself." He remembered all the times he said, "I'll call tomorrow." Tomorrow. He reached home. There were people everywhere. Soft whispers. Tears. Heavy air. He walked inside, and there she was, still, unmoving. For the first time in his life, she didn't respond to his presence. He sat beside her. He held her hand. It was cold. He said, "Amy, I'm here." But she wasn't. That was the moment tomorrow died. He didn't cry immediately. He just stared. His mind was screaming, "You had time. You had chances. You had so many tomorrows. Why didn't you call?" At the funeral, people said things. She was proud of him. She always talked about her son. She waited for his calls. Waited. That word cut deeper than anything else. She waited, and he postponed. Days after the burial, the house felt empty. Her slippers were still near the bed. Her glasses on the side table. A half-used bottle of medicine in the kitchen. Life doesn't pause for grief. After a week, he had to return to the city. Back to meetings. Back to deadlines. Back to noise. But something had changed. He would sit at his desk and suddenly hear her voice in his head. "Beta, when will you visit?" He would open his phone and scroll through their chat. Mostly missed calls from her side. Short replies from his. Busy. Letter. Tomorrow. He realized something brutal. He wasn't too busy to call. He was just too comfortable assuming there would always be another chance. That's the harsh truth. We don't ignore people because we hate them. We ignore them because we think time is unlimited. We treat tomorrow like a promise. But tomorrow is not a promise. It's a possibility. And possibilities can disappear. He started noticing things around him. At the office, colleagues would step out to take calls from family and complain about it. "My dad keeps calling. My mom talks too much." He stayed silent. If only they knew what silence really feels like. Silence is not when the phone stops ringing. Silence is when it never rings again. Months passed. He worked, but the excitement was gone. The promotion didn't feel special anymore. Money felt lighter. Achievements felt smaller. He had built a career. But he had lost the one person who celebrated it the most. One evening he opened his contacts and just stared at her name. He couldn't delete it. He couldn't call it. He realized something that hit him like a wave. Regret doesn't scream. It whispers. It whispers at night when you're alone. It whispers when you see someone else talking to their mother. It whispers when you succeed and have no one to tell first. He started visiting his hometown more often. Not because someone was waiting, but because memories were. He would sit in her room and talk out loud. I got a new project. I'm trying to eat better. I'm sleeping on time now. But those words were floating in empty air. One day, he found an old notebook of hers. Inside, she had written small notes, groceries, prayer times, and on one page his name. Under it, she had written, call him in the evening. He broke down that day, but because she kept trying, and he kept postponing. Life teaches lessons in two ways, gently or brutally. He learned brutally. He started changing small things. When someone called, he answered. When a friend said, let's meet, he didn't say next week, automatically. He stopped assuming that love would wait forever. He started understanding that relationships don't need grand gestures. They need presence, 5 minutes of attention, one honest conversation, one return call. We chase big goals, big money, big dreams. But sometimes the biggest mistake is neglecting small moments. He used to believe success meant sacrifice. Now he understands that not everything should be sacrificed, especially people. The harsh reality is simple. No one leaves this world with unfinished work, but many leave with unfinished conversations, unsaid apologies, unreturned calls. We think we'll say, I love you. Later, we think we'll visit when things calm down. We think we'll make time when life is stable. Life is never stable. There will always be another deadline, another bill, another excuse. But there won't always be another chance. He cannot go back. He cannot press rewind. He cannot call tomorrow. But he can live differently now. He can answer today. He can show up today. He can choose presence today. And that's what he does. Not perfectly, but intentionally. If his phone rings, he doesn't look at it with irritation anymore. He looks at it with awareness, because he knows what it feels like when the screen stays dark forever. This is not just his story. It's a common one. We delay love. We postpone connection. We assume permanence in a temporary world. The painful truth is this: the people you are too busy for today might not exist in your tomorrow, and the guilt of missed moments is heavier than any workload. He once said, I'll call tomorrow.
Now he says,
I'll call now. Because tomorrow is not guaranteed, time is not loyal, and love should never be postponed.